Topic: Personality development. Subtopics. First, understanding the personality development process. Second, objectives of personality development. Third, concept of success and failure. Understanding the personality development process. Personality development is the development of the organized pattern of behaviors and attitudes that makes a person distinctive. Personality development occurs by the ongoing interaction of temperament, character, and environment. Personality is what makes a person a unique person, and it is recognizable soon after birth. A child's personality has several components: temperament, environment, and character. Temperament is the set of genetically determined traits that determine the child's approach to the world and how the child learns about the world. There are no genes that specify personality traits, but some genes do control the development of the nervous system, which in turn controls behavior. A second component of personality comes from adaptive patterns related to a child's specific environment. Most psychologists agree that these two factors, temperament and environment, influence the development of a person's personality the most. Temperament, with its dependence on genetic factors, is sometimes referred to as nature, while the environmental factors are called nurture. While there is still controversy as to which factor ranks higher in affecting personality development, all experts agree that high-quality parenting plays a critical role in the development of a child's personality. When parents understand how their child responds to certain situations, they can anticipate issues that might be problematic for their child. They can prepare the child for the situation, or in some cases they may avoid a potentially difficult situation altogether. Parents who know how to adapt their parenting approach to the particular temperament of their child can best provide guidance and ensure the successful development of their child's personality. Finally, the third component of personality is character, the set of emotional, cognitive, and behavioral patterns learned from experience that determines how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. A person's character continues to evolve throughout life, although much depends on inborn traits and early experiences. Character is also dependent on a person's moral development. Stages of personality development. First, oral stage. This stage expands from 0 to 1.5 years. During this period, mouth is the sensitive zone of the body and the main source of joy and pleasure for the child. How the infant is being cared for by the mother makes the infant trust or mistrust the world, represented by mother, around him. If his wants are frequently satisfied, he develops trust and believes that the world will take care of him. In case of frequent dissatisfaction, mistrust develops, leading the infant to believe that the people around him cannot be believed, relied on, and that he is going to lose most of what he wants. After the first 6 months sucking period, the remaining 1 year biting period is fairly difficult for the child and mother because of eruption of teeth and weaning. If properly handled, infant's trust gets reinforced and he develops an inbuilt and lifelong spring of optimism and hope. Persons who had an unpleasant, abandoned, unloved and uncared babyhood are likely to find parenthood as burdensome and may express dependent, helpless, abusive behavior, and angry outbursts, i.e., oral character. To such people, caseworker is like parents, who helps the client to verbalize his anger and distrust and later provides emotional support and protective services. The caseworker has to fill the voids, mistrust created by the early mother and child relationship. The caseworker presents himself as a trustworthy person, and, as a byproduct of this relationship, the client starts trusting himself and others around him. Care should be taken that the client does not feel deprived at the hands of the caseworker who presents himself as a mothering person to the client. It may be made clear that the feeling of trust or mistrust task of oral stage is not totally dependent upon mother-child relationship during oral stage. It continues to be modified, reinforced or impoverished according to the experiences of the client in the subsequent years of life also. Second, anal stage. Towards the end of biting period of oral stage, the child is able to walk, talk, and eat on his own. He can retain or release something that he has. This is true of bowel and bladder function also. He can either retain or release his bowel and bladder contents. Now, the child no more depends upon the mouth zone for pleasure. He now derives pleasure from bowel and bladder, anal zone, functioning, which entails anxiety because of toilet training by parents. Child is taught where to pass urine and where to go for defecation, etc. In this training of bladder and bowel control, child may develop autonomy, or shame and doubt. The task of anal is to develop autonomy. If the parents are supportive without being overprotective and if the child is allowed to function with some independence, he gains some confidence in his autonomy probably by the age of 3 and prefers love over hate, cooperation over willfulness, and self-expression over suppression. Autonomy, thus, overbalances shame and doubt and leads to development of confidence that he can control his functions, and also, to some extent, the people around him. Contrary to this, the child may feel angry, foolish, and ashamed if parents criticize his feces and over-control his bowel and bladder functioning during the training for toilet. Observations of samskaras convey acceptance to the child and help the parents to train them in appropriate manner. The children, with more mistrust and doubt in their share, when adults may need help in accepting failures and imperfection as an inherent part of one's life. By accepting the client as he is, the caseworker can reduce his feeling of self-hatred and perfectionism. Over-demanding adults or those who express temper tantrums when asked to assume responsibility may need to be helped to control their impulsive acts. They should be rewarded when they exhibit controls, and one should reinforce their autonomy and independence when exercised. Autonomy and independence are totally different from impulsive acts, as these involve rationality and not emotionality. Third, genital, Oedipal stage. The task for this period is to develop and strengthen initiative, failing which the child develops a strong feeling of guilt. This period extends from 3rd to 6th years of life, i.e., preschool period. He is now capable of initiating activity, both intellectual as well as motor, on his own. How far this initiative is reinforced depends upon how much physical freedom is given to the child and how far his curiosity is satisfied. If he is led to feel bad about his behavior or his interests, he may grow with a sense of guilt about his self-initiated activities. Erikson, 1950, opines that the child takes first initiative at home when she expresses passionate interest in her parent of opposite sex. The parents ultimately disappoint her. They should try to help the child to identify with the same-sex parent, e.g., the girl should be encouraged to identify with mother and the son with the father. In addition to this initiative, the child also attempts to wrest a place for self in the race of siblings for parents' affection. He sees the difference between what he wants and what he is asked to do. This culminates into a clear-cut division between the child's set of expanded desires and the parental set of restrictions. He gradually turns these values, restrictions, i.e., don'ts, into self-punishment. Slowly and gradually, he extracts more initiative from the conflict and grows happily if his initiative gets proper and adequate reinforcement. The caseworker encourages the clients burdened with guilt feelings to take initiative in family as well as in other situations, and works with his social environment to strengthen his capacity to take initiative. Fourth, Latency stage. This stage covers the period from 6 to 11 years, i.e., school age. The child can reason out rationally and can use the tools that adults use. The sexual interests and curiosity, common in genital period, get suppressed till puberty. If encouraged and given opportunity, he gains confidence in his ability to perform and use adult materials. This leads to feeling of industry in him. When unable to use adult materials, he develops inferiority feelings. Such children may develop problems with peers. They need to be encouraged to interact with classmates and be less dependent upon others. If the child has mastered the task of genital period initiative in place of guilt, he will be able to master the tasks of latency industry in place of inferiority, also provided he is encouraged to undertake and help to execute the responsibilities entrusted to him. Fifth, adolescent stage. This period, regarded as a period of turmoil, usually starts at 12 to 13 years and can extend up to 18 to 19 years. The adolescence, during this transitional process from childhood to maturity, behaves something like an adult and sometimes like a child. Parents too show their ambivalence to accept them in their new role of an adult in the making. This stage exhibits all the psychosocial characteristics of earlier period and only towards the end. All these get resolved into a new set of role, identity, for the adolescent. In order to develop a personal identity, he becomes fan of some hero, starts following certain ideologies, and tries his luck with opposite sex. Indecision and confusion are not uncommon in this stage. Identification with the wrong person shall create problems for him. The task of this age is to develop identity, i.e., values, strengths, skills, various roles, limitations, etc. Failing which his identity gets diffused and he fails to know how to behave in different situations. He needs to be helped to deal with the physiological, emotional pressures along with pressures from parents, peers, etc. Group work is more helpful with problem adolescents. When showing confusion about their role, they can be helped to emulate the group leader or identify with group worker. Parents can handle adolescents properly if educated adequately about the needs and problems of this age. Similarly, tasks for young adulthood and old age are intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and ego integrity versus despair. These psychoanalytical concepts are helpful in understanding behavior of the individuals. Apart from these, there are some other tasks described by some other scholars for each stage which according to them are to be achieved for a normal human development. Personal development goals you need in your workplace. First, to improve your ability to manage your time. In your workplace, you'll face deadlines, orders and tasks that keep screaming for your attention every day. As the work piles up, time to have everything done time looks like a scarce commodity. In such a situation, your time management skills will be put to the test. Time consciousness comes with a lot of benefits. It will help you become more productive, efficient and less stressed. You'll have more time to put into other tasks. To improve your ability to manage time, keep track of how you spend your time. Kill activities that cause distractions, like going on social media. Schedule a certain amount of time for each task and do not allow anybody or anything to interrupt that assigned time. This will make you more time efficient, and with constant practice it'll be like second nature. Second, to build and improve relationships with people at work. Good relationships in the workplace benefits the running of a business in several ways. It harnesses high-performance teams, encourages support among each other and gives each employee in the institution a sense of belonging. Each person working in a company has their specific duties and each person's role in the company directly or indirectly affects the performance of the other. For the sake of harmonious and smooth running of the business, it is important for you to learn how to get along with the people in your workplace. To improve your relationship with your co-workers, practice being likable, friendly, and helpful to your co-workers as well as other members of the staff. This makes it easier for them to accept you. Try as much as you can to engage in an open, real and honest communication with people in your workplace. This will help open the doors to building trust and strengthening your relationship with the people in your workplace. Third, to increase your knowledge of your industry, competitors and clients. Knowledge is power, and better knowledge of your industry is a valuable weapon that gives you a comparative advantage over your competitors, which will aid in the growth of your business or the company you work in. The information you gather will keep you up to date with the latest trends and strategies in the industry. Keeping an eye on your competitors will help you know their strengths and weaknesses and how you can leverage on this knowledge to stay on top of your game. Understanding your customers' needs will help you and your business to devise ways to provide better services and develop products that will adequately meet their needs. To increase your knowledge of the industry, your competitors and clients, set aside some time to learn more about the business. Attend training and network with your counterparts in other establishments to abreast yourself of what's happening in the business world. Conduct regular surveys to get to know your clients better and discover how you can help them. Fourth, to improve your emotional intelligence, EI. Emotional intelligence, EI, refers to your ability to understand both your emotions and those of others. Proper use of this ability will help you manage people in a way that improves your business. Your ability to understand and relate with people's emotions can help improve communication with others, including your clients, and motivate them to take specific action. This helps to run your business smoothly and improve external and internal relations with people. Improving your EI starts with self-awareness. Understanding your emotions and reasons why you react or respond to certain situations will help you better understand others too. Start by observing yourself as well as others and try to understand why you or the person you are observing acts the way they do. Test drive your findings by engaging them in conversations. Are you able to soothe their anger, reduce their stress, or motivate them to be more productive? Fifth, to enhance your listening skills. Who doesn't want to be heard and understood? You create a good impression when you give someone a listening ear. Good listeners are good speakers. Taking time to carefully listen to your co-workers or clients will expose you to information or details that will enable you to do your job well and serve your customer better. To improve your listening skills, actively listen to the person talking to you. Put your focus on what they have to say. Study their body language as well. Body language is equally a method of communication. Ask questions to clarify points and do not interrupt them. Listening is a skill that takes a lot of patience and practice to perfect. Personal development in your workplace. Why should you focus on personal development in your workplace? Simply, it is essential for making the most of the opportunity your workplace gives you now and in the future. Personal development in your workplace. Step 1. Create a personal development plan. A personal development plan is a blueprint for helping you stay motivated and advance your career. It is an effective approach for self-reflection and goal setting. It helps you realize your areas of strength and weaknesses. As such, you will be able to set objectives on what to improve on and take steps to achieve the desired change. Your personal development plan should include specific ideas tied to both short-term and long-term goals. Top ideas for a personal development plan include studying knowledge-specific certifications, learning leadership skills, and networking with influencers in your profession. Also, it should entail steps to overcome obstacles to the advancement of your profession. For instance, if you have a strained relationship with your boss, it is critical to mend it. Drafting your personal development plan should be followed by a scoreboard to help you track your progress. You can use a personal development plan template to create specific and measurable goals. Having the means to measure your progress will keep you motivated and help you adapt to personal development goals. Setting realistic and time-bound goals will set you for success since they're measurable and relevant to your career. Let go of any far-fetched ideas from your plan and only keep measurable goals. A standard personal development plan example would include the following objectives. 1. Networking with professionals from other companies within your field of specialization. 2. Joining a support group for professionals. 3. Pursuing certification courses for specific skills in your profession. Step 2. Improve your time management skills. Deadlines are a standard feature in work projects. For you to succeed in your career, you need to be adept at time management. If you are late on delivering orders or completing tasks that demand your attention, you can improve on this by improving your ability to manage time. Doing so will result in a paradigm shift in which you'll no longer perceive your responsibilities as strenuous, but an orderly sequence of tasks. The first step to improving your ability to manage time is by ensuring conscious attention to your work. Staying alert and in synchronicity with your duties will make you a better planner. Also, you will have a better organization such that you'll schedule your tasks according to priority and have the discipline to execute them without entertaining any interruptions. Track the habits that lead to the loss of productivity, such as browsing social media sites, and restrict them to your free time. For example, you can schedule them for lunch and tea breaks. As a result, you'll be efficient in managing the time you spend on social media and allot the rest of it to your core tasks. Next, you should stick to a consistent practice. Once you set a schedule and assign different hours to various tasks, strive to fulfill them within those hours. Practice this until it becomes second nature to you. Step 3. Work on your social skills. Social skills are not just for social gatherings. If you don't have healthy relations with your workmates, it is hard to deliver on your work. Teamwork is only possible when you foster good work relations with your colleagues. Once you're aware of the synergy between you and your co-workers, you'll benefit from increased performance. You can only contribute to the organization by fulfilling your duties, but developing a team spirit takes you a level higher for all the areas that require collaboration. A team spirit gives you a sense of belonging and better connection with the workflow of the entire team. This way, you'll be in a good position to communicate and learn from the rest of the team and better your work processes and speed of delivery. Step 4. Improve your emotional intelligence. Your ability to understand emotions and manage them properly is a powerful skill in the workplace. Emotional intelligence is the power to understand and handle both your emotions and of other people. It helps you to process other people's motivations and action patterns better. In a workplace context, you'll be able to improve on collaborations. Also, it will enable you to express yourself better and respond to the demands of your relations with clients and co-workers better. The most powerful way to enhance your emotional intelligence is through observing new action patterns and reactions to interactions with others. Look out for what angers you, inspires, or stresses you. Next, research what motivates other people, what relieves their stress and inspires them to work better. The result will be a clear and unbiased perspective on communications and work approach. It will also result in better listening skills, which is a huge boost, especially in personal development. You will also become a better team player and establish healthy work relations for in both the short term and long term. How to encourage personal and professional development in the workplace. How can leaders provide personal development opportunities to their employees? Here are 4 ways. First, encourage self-awareness. Our well-being dictates our performance, and we cannot tend to our well-being if we don't have an understanding of who we are. Consider offering your team members personality assessments, such as the Clifton Strengths Assessment, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and the Enneagram Personality Test. These assessments increase a person's awareness and provide a language for their unique personalities. Encourage group discussions about assessment results so that employees can gain a better understanding of themselves and their co-workers. Through self-discovery and increased awareness, people can create opportunities for themselves to use their strengths in the workplace. They can also answer why they feel the way they feel at work. For example, if an employee is in a position where they work alone most of the day, but they discover that most of their strengths are relationally focused, this employee could speak to their manager and request opportunities for more connection in the workplace. This change is likely to increase an employee's happiness and productivity. Second, provide personal development resources. Just like there are professional development resources at employees' fingertips, make tools available for personal development as well. Offer discount codes for your employees to take assessments. Consider giving the employees access to life coaches just as you would career coaches. Provide an online database that employees can go to full of development resources that are constantly updated. This may include videos, articles, podcasts, and more. The more resources available, the more likely your team members will find something that resonates. Third, encourage personal goals alongside professional goals. Employees are often encouraged to identify goals for themselves professionally. But if that's the case, personal goals should be included as well. Sit down with your employees individually to ask what skills they would like to develop both personally and professionally. Then, offer your support to help your team members reach them. Fourth, schedule time for personal development. Build scheduled time for self-discovery and personal development into the workday. If you claim personal development is important, but then don't allow time for your team members to invest in themselves, then your words and actions are not aligning. Each employee should be given a certain amount of time each day to dabble in personal development. Maybe this is first thing in the morning, or it could be the last few minutes of the day before transitioning into home life. This time is an important long-term investment. Showing your team how much you care about them as people and not just as employees will transform the way they start to approach their work. So, next time you implement a professional development plan, prioritize personal development strategies as well. Role of personality development in success of an organization. Personality development plays a crucial role in success of an organization. Employees are truly the lifeline of an organization. It is rightly said that the success and failure of an organization depend on its employees. It is essential for employees to develop a sense of loyalty and attachment towards their organization. Employees ought to learn to face challenges and adverse situations with a smile. One needs to deal with problems and obstacles at the workplace in a sensible and mature way. Never panic, as it would not only aggravate the problems but also demotivate other employees as well. Be a role model for others. As a manager, your job is to take your team along and smile through tough times. Management must organize personality development sessions from time to time to prepare employees for unforeseen circumstances. First, Personality development sessions go a long way in grooming individuals for them to deliver their level best and eventually contribute towards the success of an organization. Employees need to have a positive attitude in life. Remember, there is no age for learning. An individual needs to upgrade his/her existing skills and knowledge with time to survive fierce competition. An individual with a negative attitude cribs in almost every situation and finds it difficult to cope with the changing times. Second, personality development enhances one's personality and makes an individual a mature professional who can contribute effectively towards the success of an organization. Personality development helps in extracting the best out of employees, yielding higher profits for the organization. Third, employees need to work in unison for their organization to grow and yield higher profits. Every employee should work for the organization, leaving their selfish motives behind. Some people find it difficult to work in teams. A team has individuals from different backgrounds and varied cultures who eventually have different mindsets and attitudes. One needs to have an adjusting nature to be successful at the workplace. Do not be too rigid. Never always find faults in others. Conflicts lead to a negative ambience at the workplace where employees find it difficult to perform and deliver as per expectations. Personality development trainings should be organized at workplaces from time to time which teach employees to be patient, confident and efficient resources for the organization. Employees are the face of their organization. They need to be presentable and should know how to converse with other fellow workers as well as external clients. You need to be extremely polite with your clients, not only to expect business in return but also to maintain healthy relationship with them in future as well. One needs to have excellent communication skills to make a mark of his own at the workplace. Personality development teaches you to communicate effectively. Choose the right words and be extremely careful about the content of your speech. You just can't afford to be rude with your clients. If you do not know how to behave with your clients, you would be thrown out of the office in no time. An individual who fights with his fellow workers is often treated as an unwanted member and someone who is hated by all. Remember, as an employee, it is you who decides the culture of the organization.